This is WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
The horse, with beauty unsurpassed, strength immeasurable, and grace unlike any other, still remains humble enough to carry a man upon its back. When a service member or first responder takes an oath, he or she has mentally and physically committed themselves with self-sacrifice. From the front lines abroad to the very streets you live on in America, they protect. This oath is non-refundable and it is lifelong. Facing unimaginable dangers and unseen scars, these grounds are a place to recover and face any challenges head-on. As veterans and first responders ourselves, we know that battle all too well. From a simple talk with a friend on horseback to an entire debrief in the barn, this sanctuary has seen recovery take place time and time again. No hour of life is wasted that is spent in a saddle. The way we approach change isn't a new phenomenon. This animal has been with humans over 5,000 years. If you've ever been around a horse for long enough, you'll feel that thing, that electric trust. In that moment, nothing else is in your mind. When they turn into you, it's like the world disappears. We harness that moment to build skills off of. Repurposing requires flexibility, adaptability, and the willingness to challenge assumptions and conventional thinking. This approach can be applied to many areas in life, including business, education, and personal growth. To ride a horse is to fly without wings. This lesson and skills learned at War Horses will help reintegrate back into daily life. You'll learn coping mechanisms, improved communication skills, trust and confidence that will help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. These tools can be used every day to navigate life and take on many challenges. This may involve practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, improving communication with loved ones. Transitioning back to society is hard on your own. And when you're at War Horses, you're family. And families solve problems together.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I can feel this in my ears. What is happening?
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, what is going on, everybody? It is Friday, the 26th day of, I almost said September, May 2023. I'm your host, Kaz, and this is Friday Night Freedom, and up there is Pookie, and I guess we're kind of getting ready to get this show started. Great to be here. I'm glad you all could hang out, man. This is a long weekend. This is Memorial Day weekend, so folks go out of town and do things and stuff, and I'm glad you're taking time out of your schedule to hang out with us, at least for a little bit. I appreciate it. What's going on, Pookie?
Not much. Just trying to get my camera adjusted.
So it's we got like 2 weeks to catch up on now, since I'm on that little bi-weekly schedule now, which is working out good. It's really good. It's good. At least for a while, it's good. I got sick last week though. Last Friday, I got home from work and I was not feeling it. I was not feeling good at all. So I was just like, man, had a really light dinner and I took my temperature and it was like 99. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna go to bed. So like, as a good old man, we got a bottle of water and I went to bed at it was like 8:30 or 9 o'clock on a Friday. So I'm in bed And I woke up about midnight, and I'm like, man, I'm really not feeling good. I took my temperature again, and it was 101.6. I was like, son of a bitch. Went to the bathroom, took some aspirin, and went back to bed. I spent the entire next day. I was up at like 6 in the morning, and I got up. I had some breakfast, cup of coffee, sat down on the couch. Then I ended up laying down on the couch, and then I woke up at like 10 minutes to 2. And I was like, man, I'm just going to go back to bed. So I crawled my ass back into bed, woke up at like 5:40. And then I got up, I ate dinner, and then I was back in bed at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock and slept all night long until Sunday. Finally Sunday, the fever broke. I hate being sick, man. I hardly ever get sick, knock on wood. I just hate it. I hate it. I don't like feeling bad.
I'm the same way. I get sick once in a blue moon, and I think the last time I was sick was like maybe a month ago. I think I got the spicy flu, and it laid me out. And I think I still did the show.
You did, and you sounded horrible. I tried to get you to not do the show, and you did it.
Like, I got it.
But I think we got you. I think we got you on the show, but you were on the front end of everything, so you were on the way down.
Yeah.
So that was. Ugh. You could almost see like when you're playing games, when you're a gamer and stuff, and your energy level is this much, and you can just see you take hit after hit after hit, and then your power bar goes down.
Slowly.
You can see you. Thank you, Jackie. I feel wonderful. I recovered fully. I think Monday, Tuesday I was kind of out of sorts, but come Wednesday I was hitting on all cylinders, man. But I thank you very much for the well wishes. So we got a lot of 2 shows with guests coming up this week. Let me cover that real quick. So we do have shows 6 nights a week. And let me pull up the old lineup here. So on Monday, we've got special guest Robin Bartlett's going to be on the Monday edition. Robert is a pilot from the 1st Cav Division who flew during the Vietnam War. He has written a book called Vietnam Combat, Firefights and Writing History. It is a fast-moving, well-written first-person narrative expressing the horror, fear, anguish, and sometimes illogical humor of that war. It's a story that will stay with you long past the last page. So he's going to be on with ICE, and they're gonna talk Vietnam War stuff with Mr. Robin Bartlett. And then on Wednesday, the Smoke Pit invites Carrie Beavers to the show. Carrie is an Army veteran, founder and CEO of Soldier Girl Coffee Company. She'll be on to talk about herself, her experiences, and of course her badass coffee. Sounds like it's going to be another fun Smoke Pit show. They've been hitting out of the park lately, man. Can't wait to hear that show. So yeah, we got shows 6 nights a week. Sunday is usually the sports bar show. The sports bar is not going to be shown this week. We're going to get on, and in place of that show, the sports bar was to occur at the same time as the Memorial Day concert in DC, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we're going to simulcast that. So when we go live on Sunday night, rather, it's going to be the concert, and that concert is headed up by Gary Sinise and the Gary Sinise Foundation, and Joe Montaigne, who was also a guest on Pop Culture Warrior this past Tuesday. If you didn't see that, I highly encourage you to look through our little archives and stuff on the Facebooks and watch that interview. It is absolutely fantastic. Really brings the meaning of more Memorial Day closer to the surface. So yeah, the Memorial Day, man. That's this weekend. Memorial Day, of course, is Monday, the last Monday in May. Just like my intro song that I played, that was from Ward Davis. We had him and Operation Song on as guests a while back. It might have been, I don't know, year or two ago. They have a really wonderful organization called Operation Song. I put the link up in it's one of the first comments. Go ahead and check them out, man. They do a lot of really, really great work for veterans. So Memorial Day officially kicks off summertime in the Northern Hemisphere, and it's a federal holiday in the United States for honoring and mourning U.S. military personnel who have died while serving. Soldiers die in combat, and they also die in training in garrison, and they also die in theater while training for missions. This holiday is for them. Let's raise our glasses high and honor our brothers and sisters who have gone before us. Do you have anything special that you're doing for Memorial Day, Pook?
I usually just try to stay at home and, mind my business. Because it's, a pretty, I don't know. I mean, when I used to do, go around and place flags and stuff like that, but I don't get around to be able to do that anymore. Usually volunteer to do things, but, these last couple of years, I've just been, whatever, it's a rough day for me. So just thinking about things,
Yeah, it's a rough day for a lot of folks, man.
But I just have to remind people all the time that it's not Veterans Day, it's Memorial Day, because people are like, well, thank you for your service. Like, yes, but this is not a day for me. It's for the fallen.
It's a day. It's a day for them.
Yeah.
I stopped trying to explain anything. I'm just, thank you. I don't get into conversations like that. Now, it's just, it's not really worth explaining.
Some people just don't know the difference.
Yeah.
It's people like to go out and do their lake things and, go out on the lake or go out on the ocean, or it's a day off for most people, but, just remembrance is a big thing for me. It's just.
I was looking at the VA website. I get VA emails and updates all the time, and there's a shit ton of stuff happening all over the country for Memorial Day. It's like actual, sponsored events, concerts, and parades. It's mostly concerts and parades. There's some veterans shows and like band concerts, with patriotic music and whatnot. But there's 200, 300 plus things that are going on Memorial Day, and it's pretty awesome. They have things going on like all weekend. So you can go to va.gov, and you can check that out. So
all our parades in the area got canceled because of this storm coming through.
Is it coming from offshore, or is it just a storm system?
It's a low pressure front. They actually were saying that it could quite possibly be named if it hit, or like an invest or whatever it is, but it didn't meet the criteria. So it's just going to be very rainy.
Oh, so it's moving slow, because I heard about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
They had spotted it in the ocean, and they're just like, this thing has potential, and it's finally made it there.
Yeah, it's chilling. It's dumping it's the Carolina coasts, North Carolina, South Carolina. It's dumping all kinds of rain. So.
Surf warning, chasing the sharks away, driving them to deep water.
Yeah, but
no tourists for you. So we got a little bit of breaking news. Ice had to put up with this last night. He had breaking news in the middle of his show. We got breaking news now, expanded information on what his breaking news was. But missing Fort Cavazos soldier Craig Chamberlain has been found, and he is alive. Because of the search, it led us to the right place, and we found our son. He is alive, says Virginia Chamberlain. So Craig's parents at Gordon and Virginia traveled to Central Texas from their home in Borger to go and search for their son. I printed this out, and it's like, I get like a little more than 2/3 of the sentence. So he was reported missing by his wife, Cameron Chamberlain, on May 15th. And on Thursday, May 25th, she was found dead, which is weird. This whole thing is just weird. But she provided no information as to his whereabouts. In the wake of Cameron's death, the civilian group helping other soldiers' parents pushed on the search for the missing soldier. The announcement that Craig had been found alive was made at about 5:40 p.m. last night. Officials on post at Fort Cavazos said that based on information discovered through its investigation, it was apparent that he had absented himself, meaning he deserted, I guess. Hi, Laura. Welcome. My name's Kaz. I'm new, too. Welcome to the show. Make yourself at home. Days before his death, Cameron Chamberlain spoke to KWTX and claimed that the past few months on post contributed to a significant change in Craig's mental health. She said that, quote, when I met him, he was carefree, loving, laid-back person. He didn't have a mean bone in his body or in his heart. Or he didn't have a bad feeling in his heart. He was a happy man, and Fort Cavazos and the leadership completely destroyed him. So that's kind of a damning statement. But I guess in the coming days and weeks we'll find more information on that. So they did find, I guess to summarize, they did find Craig Chamberlain. So I guess we'll figure out, or they'll figure out and report what the heck's going on. So that was just weird.
What is going on? It's Cavasso right now. I'm used to. I spent time at Hood. Yeah. The Hood. Yeah. So it's hard for me to change. It's gonna be. But what the heck is going on over there? Like I knew it was always a crazy place, but over the last 5 years, what the hell?
Something in the water, man. I don't know.
I don't have that tap water. Do not drink the tap water, or it'll kill your ass. That's like Camp Lejeune. That's nuts, though. It's this whole thing. That story is crazy to me. I just was sitting here reading into it a little bit. And I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I think in I don't know, a couple of weeks to a month or more, it'll be interesting to see what all of the details are surrounding this whole thing. His disappearance, her death. They still haven't said what she died from.
Dave, really? The name has been changed to protect the innocent.
You could call it whatever you want. I don't know, man. I spent I did 2 tours at Hood. I did it. That was my first duty station and my last duty station, and there were a couple of duty stations in between. And I loved Fort Hood. I absolutely loved Fort Hood. I was in a good command. I couldn't complain. I had nothing to complain about.
Best unit I was ever in the military was 220 Field Artillery. I will say that right now. Great unit, good leadership, good people in general, man. We all looked out for each other. So there might have been some shenanigans, but we all took care of each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had any issues, man. I mean, Austin was nearby. There was plenty to do on post. There was plenty to do off post. We were all given opportunity to enjoy our downtime, and it was a great place. I don't know what happened. I think even Ice was talking about that last night. He was at Hood. He's like you. What the hell happened?
I had a great time while I was there. I mean, I know there was crazy things happening. You stay off of posts, certain places you don't go. Same with Bragg Boulevard. I used to go down there and have my shenanigans, but I mean, every base has its thing, but why is it this Fort Hood seems to be this this massive gravitational black hole of stupidity and insanity at this point, huh?
And strange stuff, just odd things. Do these weird things happen at other bases? I don't think to this level. This is kind of.
It might be just national reporting, because I know when we do at Bragg, they do something called clean sweep once a year. We'd go through and just look for trash or concertina wire that was left behind, or
just clean up the field sites, and
there was bodies found every year just out there, or just rotting out there. You just just dumped off of Old Chicken Road was a notorious place to freaking just dump bodies for some reason. I could never figure that crap out. But
like soldiers or people,
just random brandos. I mean, soldiers usually get found pretty quick. You go missing. People go but I mean, it's just like I don't know if it's like, but they call it Vietnam for a reason. But you just be out there. You hear reports 4 bodies found during clean sweep or whatever it is. It's just like, what the hell?
Man, I think the most interesting thing that I found on the post cleanup is like smashed cars on Tank Road. Where 2nd Armored Division was out there doing their little maneuvers and on the tank trails, and I don't think that there's a body inside there, but that thing is just destroyed. I'm not, So this is summertime. This is the kickoff for summertime. Memorial Day is the official start. The official start of summer. Kids are out of school. Colleges are emptying out. So I had a friend of mine who posted this kind of a cool thing on his page. He didn't write it, but it's pretty cool. I like it. I'm going to read it to you just because I thought it was nice. He says, a big shout out to all the kids who didn't win an award, make honor roll, and barely made it through the school year. A big hug to the moms, dads, grandparents, caregivers, and foster parents that stuck by them as they maneuvered through the school year. To all the kids that didn't get invited to prom, didn't get a scholarship to college, and perhaps have to go straight to work right out of high school, you are still worthy of a pat on the back and a Facebook post with people talking about how amazing you are. Some kids have to work twice as hard as other students just to get a C. Their achievements deserve recognition. Don't forget these kids. Kindness, creativity, and generosity. These attributes, sadly, don't get the accolades that they deserve. Hear, hear, man. I thought that was pretty badass.
Yes.
No idea who wrote that, but I agree with every freaking word of it. I was that kid in high school that had to work super extra hard to get a C. Man, I was a dumbass in school. I did not apply myself at all.
Mine was I was bored at school, man. It's like I already know this shit. Teach me something different, like
it might have been it, or it was I just wasn't interested in it. I was really good in science, and I was mediocre in math. I hated history.
Geometry was my Jimmy Jam. I
loved that.
100. Geometry, algebra, understood algebra real good. Science, history, all that. But you get me on English. Oh, why do I need to? I read books. Why do I need to?
Yeah, I wasn't that good in English. As long as if we had to read something and then write about it, I was fine. But about all the formalities of writing and this, that, and the other, I didn't do very well. Or I didn't do as well as I probably could have.
What they call it, the
Oxford comma.
Column. Comma, yeah. Or the semicolon, where to put a semicolon. If I can write it and you can understand it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I have done my job. We got some a little bit of sad news. David Brandt. You say that name, David Brandt, and what comes to mind? Nothing. Everyone's like, who the hell is David Brandt? I have no idea who David Brandt is. No, but David Brandt is an Ohio farmer who became famous all over the world with an image of him. It was used in a meme that went viral. The image, which was originally posted by the United States Department of Agriculture back in 2014, blew up on Reddit in 2018. At the same time, the meme received over 18,000 upvotes fairly quickly. The meme, which is used as a response to someone, was often featured as a joke, explaining that the person using it didn't do much work at all, but at least they did something. So Brandt died at the age of 76 in Ohio due to complications from a car accident that happened last week. So rest in peace, David. And it's not, I don't even think it's a meme. It's just a picture of him. And those are words that he said. He was doing an interview for the way that he does farming, like no-till farming. He's got some special way of doing his farming. And it was, he was doing an interview, and he said it, it ain't much, but it's honest work. And it's just stuck.
So it's a weird phenomenon now, right now. We're living in the age where memes are dying.
No way. Oh,
Yeah.
the memes. Oh, the people in
Like
memes.
the
I
people
got you.
in the
Okay.
memes. Like it's kind of crazy. Like I'm looking at that picture. I saw Grumpy Cat, and it made me think. I was like, crap, Grumpy Cat like died a while back. You know, like years back. But you know, I got T-shirts with this cat on it. It's been dead for years.
They're collector's items now. Well, there's the Grumpy Cat, and then there's what's that other cat in the middle there, right next to who was that, Snape and Princess Leia?
I'm trying to see it.
Right in the middle, above Harambe.
Oh, that's I don't know which one that is. A lot of these I see Stan Lee on there, Bob Ross, Kurt. Is that Kurt Russell? Did Kurt Russell die?
No, I don't think so.
I can't see the image well.
Okay. Nah. So that's cool. Imagine being that, you know, that means my grandpa, you know, just that's just cool. Yeah, it just kind of takes me back to Ohio. I mean, there's a lot of fucking farmland in Ohio. I lived in northern Ohio, it was around Toledo and Bowling Green, Perrysburg area. Dude, there's just cornfield and soy fields and just whatever fields. Just field after field after field after field.
It's kind of like where I grew up in Pennsylvania. It's like it's valleys, and inside the valleys, you got dairy, corn, soy, you name it, and then it's woods, mountainous woods, and then next valley over, it's just corn everywhere, dairy cattle everywhere. I know that smell of the country. Some people don't like the smell of it, but I love that smell. It's like, ooh, back home.
One of the guys I work with, his daughter she's a livestock nutritionist. So she lives and works in Dalhart, Texas, which is super panhandle Texas. Basic, I mean, it's way the fuck up there. But when you drive through that town, and I'd usually, like the first time I drove to Montana, I drove through Dalhart. That entire town smells just like ammonia because of all the cattle urine. And they process millions and millions and millions of head of cattle go through Dalhart. So it's just stinks. But the thing is, she smells like it. Her house, her car, everything about her smells like that. And she's not affected by it, but then she comes down to visit mom and dad and she smells like a cow's butt. Oof. It takes a while to get that out. Sometimes you can't get it out. Nasty.
See, that smell never bothered me none, It just never bothered me.
Well, it doesn't bother me, but I'd like to get away from it. I don't want it to be.
The smell that sucks the most is I grew up where I was growing up. There's two paper mills like towns over, like literally towns over. Like one was over a mountain range, like a mountain hill, whatever, Appalachian Mountain. But the winds would shift, and that smell of that paper mill would hit you, and like it's stuck in. Like, that smell is one of those smells that you can't forget. And now where I'm living, there's a paper mill probably about 50 miles away, but if the wind shifts just straight away, I can smell it. It's like,
Describe it. Is it like a musty smell, or is it moldy, nasty, mildewy?
I don't know. Like, you'd have to just know the smell of a paper mill. I can't really describe it.
I used to live downwind from a brew. Actually, it was upwind from a brewery, and every once in a while, the winds would change, and you'd smell it, and it'd be like, ugh. That's got that hoppy smell. What's up, Sports Bar? Sports. It's the Sports Bar.
Good evening, gentlemen. It's a great night. Baseball. Myrtle Beach is playing against Fayetteville. Pookie versus Coach tonight. There we go. Is it the Pelicans versus what's the Fayetteville's team?
Gunslingers.
I can't. Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
I know I think Fayetteville has the Fire Ants as their hockey team, but no, I've never been to a Fayetteville.
Was that like a AAA baseball?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Those are fun games to go to.
Semi-pro, AAA.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a farm team where the pros will pick from, or they'll draw talent from them.
Fun games though.
So yeah, I think we can kind of maybe incorporate a little bit of a safety brief into the broadcast tonight.
Oh yeah,
think we can do that. All right, I'm going to give it a shot. Kind of wrote something up, so we'll see how it goes. So part of our closing comments every Friday night includes the phrase from Pookie, "Don't drink and drive." Drinking and driving is very serious, and it's never a joke. We just don't say it to simply say it. We mean it. In the United States, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, one person is killed every 39 minutes in a drunk driving accident. In 2021, alcohol-impaired driving fatalities accounted for 13,384 deaths, or 31% of overall driving fatalities. This weekend, we encourage you to go out, have a good time, see your friends and family, remember the fallen service members who were once in your life. And if you do decide to have some beers, do the right thing. Give up the keys to someone else who hasn't been drinking, or make some other arrangements like a taxi or an Uber to get you back home. We want and need you here listening to our shows 6 nights a week, not sitting in a jail cell, lying in a hospital bed, or even worse, lying in a coffin. And we definitely don't want to read about you in a story like this next one. A DUI suspect in Colorado tried unsuccessfully to pin the rap on his dog, according to police in eastern Colorado. He attempted to switch seats with his dog after he got pulled over. The attempted switcheroo happened at about 11:30 p.m. on Saturday when officers pulled over a vehicle driving 52 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. The driver attempted to switch places with his dog that was in the passenger seat. The police officers stood there and they watched this all happen. The suspect then exited the passenger side of the vehicle and claimed that he wasn't driving. When police asked the suspect if he had consumed alcohol, he made a break for it, abandoning both the vehicle and his pooch. He was apprehended about 60 feet or 160 toilet paper rolls from where the incident began. Charges against the unidentified driver who also had outstanding warrants, including suspicion of DUI and resisting arrest. The dog was given to an acquaintance of the driver to take care of while the party was in jail. The dog does not face any charges, and he was let go with a warning. So yeah, don't do that. This obviously turned out okay. I mean, no one was hurt, but you start drinking, you start drinking, and then operating a vehicle or whatever, man. It's or smoke. I mean, a lot of time, a lot of states have legalized the recreational use of marijuana and stuff. So that's just as impairing as.
I'm not laughing at the story. I'm laughing at the whole toilet paper. Did you add that?
I did.
Did you add that? Okay.
I did do the math. The thing is, when I was putting the show together last night, someone was doing something, and ICE was like, yeah, though the Americans never use the metric system or something like that.
That was me.
Oh, that was you? Okay.
It was like, yeah. Bus the size of 30-some alligator, full-grown alligators crashing in a telephone the size of, whatever,
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, what can I was going to do pencils. But then I'm like, okay, you can have a pencil, you can have an unsharpened pencil, or you can have like a half a pencil that's been used. I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. I'm like, dollar bill? No.
The best pencils. I've got the best pencils right here.
Ticonderoga. I love the Ticonderoga pencils. They're yellow.
Pen.
Okay. Yeah, you sharpen it with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with toilet paper. The width of a toilet paper roll is a 4.5
It's funny
inches.
You said it. I kind of chuckled a little bit. And I thought, wait a minute. Did you in there was that actual part of an article.
No, I added it. I added it. I'm guilty.
Patrick even said this. It's like, wait, what?
Yes, Patrick, I did. The width of a toilet paper roll, standard width of a toilet paper roll is 4.5 inches. And there's 160 of them in 60 feet. So, yes, that was me. Thank you for paying attention, though. You never know what we're going to say here on WTF Nation Radio, especially on Friday Night Freedom. So, let me see. Sports Bar said something. Pelicans in Myrtle Beach. Fayetteville's the Woodpeckers. They changed their names to the 80 Deuces tonight for Memorial Day. That's kind of cool. Is this wrapping up the end of All American Week, or is that like later on in the year? Is this All American Week?
I know Ice might have said something about this, and I should have.
I remember we did a thing for All American Week. We did like the All American Week baseball game, that big baseball game with the pro players and stuff. That was
May 22nd to 25th.
Okay, so it wraps up.
That was
yesterday.
This was 2000. Yeah.
I'll bet that's a whole lot of fun, dude. I know we have Week of the Eagles at Fort Campbell when I was there, but I don't think that's anything compared to All American Week.
I always get stuck on some stupid duty or some crap when it would happen. So I always stuck sitting on a CQ desk or freaking on the field working on crap.
Yeah, I mean, someone needs to man that CQ desk. Because you never know. You never know when that phone's going to ring. Red Cross message or some shit like that. Someone's got to be there. Oh, what else do we have here? Guns. We can talk about guns.
U.S. or rest of the world.
So do you have do you guys have castle law in South Carolina?
I don't know, but if anyone comes in my house, I'm going to shoot them.
No, regardless if there's a law or not. I get that. I understand that. I know Texas does. It's like the castle law. It's the castle doctrine on fucking steroids. But in Tennessee, this is kind of weird, and I tend to agree with law enforcement on this one. So let me share this story with you. A Tennessee man found himself behind bars this week after returning fire at thieves who were trying to steal a van outside of his house. A Shelby County man was notified by his surveillance system at around 2 a.m. on Saturday that several people were outside his home and using burglary tools in an effort to break into a van. So before we get any further, Shelby County is the proud owner of Memphis, Tennessee. So you can kind of imagine what kind of a shithole that is.
All right, I got you. I wouldn't have called the cops, but have shot first and then called. But that's me.
So after the man walked outside, the thieves fired shots at him as he stood beneath his porch light of his home. So the man returned fire. The thieves fled the scene, and the man went back into his house. But when police arrived, the man's wife said that they started not asking questions, but they actually started interrogating the guy. She said that when they were talking to him, it was like they were trying to find a way to charge him. That doesn't sound right. Why would you put pressure on the victim when you should be putting pressure on pressure for the suspects to be found? So during the investigation or interrogation or whatever you call it, the deputies say that the man told them that he quote, could not clearly see what he was targeting, and admitted to firing shots with his eyes closed due to being scared and shooting at the suspects as they fled. The man, who has not been publicly identified, was eventually arrested and charged with felony reckless endangerment and later released. And the family hopes that the charges will be dropped.
See, this is a clear example of
don't say shit.
Yeah, know your rights, and when they come at you asking questions, even though you've been robbed, Just be like, do I need a lawyer? Am I being detained? You know, kind of crap. If you're gonna detain me, cool. I'll get a lawyer, but I have nothing to say to you right now. Why are you asking me questions? There's idiots that just try to rob my damn car, and you're asking me questions?
Right.
No, I'm not talking to you.
So Tennessee has a stand your ground law, but it's kind of murky. It allows a person to defend themselves with lethal force when said person is not engaging in unlawful activity. Meaning, let's see, if you're robbing somebody and they protect themselves with a gun and fire at you, you are not protected by law to defend yourself and fire back. Does that make sense? If you're breaking the law, you're not, you lose all protection.
Okay, gotcha. I know.
Okay.
I thought it's like Tennessee, like carjacking. I know if you try to carjack someone and you shoot someone, boom, you're off scot free at that point. You're allowed to defend yourself at that point. No? But I mean, wait. So they were breaking the law and got shot at.
But in his statements, and this is one of those things where you don't make a statement without a lawyer. You know, he said he was firing the gun. He couldn't clearly see his target. He was closed. He had his eyes closed, and he was firing his gun. So I think
who shoots with their eyes closed?
I know. Maybe this guy does. This guy does. So anyway, in the terms of property, the Tennessee Code states that you are justified in threatening or using force against another to the degree necessary to prevent or terminate unlawful interference with the property. But the law also states, quote, a person is not justified in using deadly force to prevent or terminate the unlawful interference with personal property. So if someone's on your property stealing shit, you are not protected by law if you go out there and shoot them, which is weird because this is Tennessee.
That's weird because in that sense, you just walk out, pop a shotgun around in the air, pow, 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 a couple times they go running off. The worst you can get at that point is like maybe discharging a firearm in city limits.
Reckless discharge.
Yeah.
So the law as it is written is confusing and seems incomplete. It's almost contradictory. And that's what I think that he got hemmed up in. With the way that the law is written.
I don't know. What's with these? I love law enforcement. You know, they do a job that I would never want to do, but like it seems to me sometimes that some of these law enforcement officers are going out of the way to hem up the wrong people for no reason. I don't understand it.
What's going on, Mark? Mark Edwin's in the chat. He says hi. What's up? So I know Texas, like I said, they have the Castle Doctrine, and it's pretty much on steroids. You can do, if someone's on your property, you can, if they're threatening, you can, use deadly force. If they're taking your stuff, you can use deadly force. If you're protecting your neighbor, you can use deadly force.
Yeah, I watched that happen one time. This dude was out in the streets. I was hanging out with buddies of mine or whatever. This dude comes over. I guess he was ticked off about his girlfriend breaking up with him. So he came up to the house with a pistol and started saying, hey, I'm going to do this and do that. And started threatening family and him and stuff like that. Dude walked out in the middle of the street like, this is like...
Had a pistol in his hand?
Wild West kind of shit. Looked the dude dead in the eye and pulled the pistol, goes, poof, and ends it. The cops just let him off. Because he was threatening his wife, threatening his daughter, threatening his family, in the middle of the street. So it was like, yes, like good, bad, and ugly shit. I was like, I witnessed this shit. I was like, holy fuck.
This is weird, man. This is like the Daniel Penny thing. He didn't shoot the guy. He choked the guy out, and he ended up dying.
New York.
It is New York, and that's, but God. When you're not allowed to protect yourself or your property. But I see what I should have done is pulled up some stats on, states that have a Castle Doctrine. I think Arkansas is one of those weird ones that it's just like, yeah, you can protect yourself, but there's all kinds of exemptions and stuff on that.
I don't know, like Virginia was weird about theirs was like if someone comes into your house, you have to like evade to your best of your ability, the burglar or whatever it is.
Or if they're retreating or if they're running away, you can't shoot them.
Yeah, you gotta like barricade yourself somewhere until you cannot escape no more, and then you're allowed to use deadly force. And I was like,
bullshit.
No, you come into my house, I'm capping your ass. Simple as that. You done fucked up. I'll drag you upstairs and make it look like I'm barricaded. I don't care. Climbing in my window. Oh, whoop! Now you're in my house. Bow. That's me.
Or you see, you're like, no. Come on out. Come all the way in. Come all the way in.
Keep coming. Come on.
Yeah, David Cunningham's like, was the guy named Barney Fife? I think that's probably a comment to was he closing his eyes and firing his gun, which is weird. Why would you say that? Oh, I was scared, so I was just capping around, popping off rounds when my eyes were closed.
I don't know. People say the dumbest things when their adrenaline's rushing. I know better. Just the least you say is the better for you at that point. I'm sorry, dudes were breaking into my vehicle. They shot at me. I fired back. End of story.
That seems pretty cut and dry to me.
Mm-hmm. If you want any more information, please hit up my lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of it.
So hopefully this guy kind of gets off. Not gets off. I hope he gets. I don't know. I hope that he gets a fucking. I hope he gets an education. Don't say
Fifth
shit.
Amendment. Yeah, the Fifth Amendment.
Don't say shit.
I plead the fifth.
The fifth. I mean, imagine living in a state like, I don't know, California,
Ugh.
where you can't do shit.
Ugh.
I don't know if it's like you can't do shit. I mean, I'm sure there are cases where, you can, if someone's breaking into your house, you're protecting yourself, things are fine. But you better hope that, number one, you're using something like a steel bullet, because you can't use lead because that's anti-environmental, It's not good for the
environment. Or a hollow point because you're causing unnecessarily bodily harm.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm shooting someone.
I think as long as you're playing by the California rules, you gotta. I mean, they got gun registration and stuff there. I've never had to register a gun.
No, they're trying to do it with antique guns now, like there's like the 1880 something where it's a cutoff where it's just like considered an antique.
Okay.
Inherited. The old lever actions, muzzle loaders, and stuff
or
like that.
Historical firearms.
Yeah, like that. They want you to register that crap. Now I'm like, get the hell out of here! I'm not registering my musket. I'm not my black powder. That's none of your business. That cannon sitting in the corner.
David Cunningham, kill him and then drag him back in the house.
Exactly.
Don't forget to clean up the blood trail.
That's what birdshot's for. You hit them the first, they'll be stunned, and then you can bring them in the house. It doesn't leave much of a blood trail when you drink.
Yeah, use your buckshot afterwards.
Yeah. Be salty like some of the old farmers up down in Texas. I know they use that. They put Epsom rock salt in their damn
salt. Yeah.
And I've been peppered by that shit.
I've been peppered by that. We used to fuck with this farmer, and it was this is when I was a stupid kid.
Stupid kid.
Up in Wisconsin when we used to live up there. He shot at us with his salt. With salt.
I mean, it's a good deterrent.
It is. What would you use that for? It's just a non-lethal gun. Hurts like a motherfucker.
Get the hell off my property, pow! And then you're like, ow, 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 and you run like a crazy son of a bitch.
And it's salt too.
Ass is on fire.
And it's salt, and it doesn't go away. Rinse that off, and you're ow. You gotta wait for that stuff to wear out.
Yeah, it does. It's like pepper spray. People don't realize that about pepper spray. People want to instantly start slapping water on their face to get that. No, that just makes it worse.
What do? Pour milk on your face?
Just I don't know.
Wipe it off. Wipe it off, and maybe then go with water. I don't know. I've never been pepper sprayed before.
I would rather be pepper sprayed than tased. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I saw a picture. I didn't read the story. It was like some dude, some motorcycle rider caught fire after being tased. He burst into flames or something like that.
I didn't see that.
I've got it bookmarked. I need to read that damn story after work because I don't know how much truth there is to it.
Oh, I heard this. My brain clicked. Yeah, like he was like pumping gas or some shit. No?
Okay.
And he got tased. I think it lit him up because he was pumping gas or some crap like that.
Why would you tase someone who's got a fucking fuel bomb in his hand? That's ridiculous. Jackie says that he was covered in gas, so that makes sense. That makes sense. Hey, what do you say we take a quick break?
Yeah, that sounds good.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about horror movies. I like horror movies.
What kind of horror movie?
Like horror, not whore.
Oh, I thought you said horror movie.
No. Horror. And then we got some snack updates. I don't know if Spanky's here in the audience, but I got a snack update for you. You're going to want to hear this because I know you're going to want to partake. We got another company that's got another employee of the year, and we're going to talk about that. Ice Cube has released some comments about AI and music and things and stuff. And then we got some Metallica news and just all kinds of cool stuff. So, going to wrap up this first segment. We're going to take a very, very quick break, and then we'll be right back. So, shots.
I can feel this in my ears. What is happening?
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
It's my place to
WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back for part two. Part two of Friday Night Freedom. Yeah, that's the name of the show here on WTF Nation Radio. We are the voice of U.S. Army WTF Moments, and we are very pleased and proud to be here with you on this Memorial Day weekend. I hope you have a nice weekend, man. It's just, with all the barbecues and parades and stuff, it's a long weekend. There's a lot of people traveling and stuff. Not sure. Are people diving back into airplanes? Is air traffic up? I heard air traffic was supposed to be pretty out of mind, or just out of their mind, I guess.
I'm gonna put my DA 31 in because I'm about to be flying out here in a week or two. You reminded me. Thank you.
Yeah, right. You got that notepad. I know you got that notepad. Go ahead and write that down on there. See, I was looking at, flights going up to Montana to go see my girls, and I'm just like, dude, holy shit. It's like $600 to fly up there.
Oh, like I do a Texas trip. I try to do a Texas trip once a year with my homeboys from my unit, like back in the day or whatever. They all get together and hang out and stuff like that.
That's one thing that I wish that I did. I wish I kept better tabs with all my buddies. I've got two that I keep in constant contact with, and the rest. It's just, they just, fell apart. Life happens. People ETS or change units, and we just don't.
We kept together pretty good there through the years, and we meet up in Texas, once a year. And I bought my tickets back in February, and they're all mad because I'll be flying into Love instead of DFW, and
Love is a shithole.
Yeah, but it was $250 round trip, man.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you guys can suck it.
Yeah, suck it. Drive the extra 20 miles and pick me up at Love. It's just traffic sucks.
I know Dallas. I think the Orange Line links damn freaking Love to freaking DFW anyway, so I could just jump the metro at that point. If I could be over there at that point.
Yeah. I know that they had that was. I don't know if that was something that they were working on and it wasn't completed yet, but yeah, I know that they have upgraded their train service at DFW, and it's badass now. It's pretty badass. They're building another terminal, a whole brand new terminal now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
A lot of, Fort Worth is like the hot spot to move to in the United States right now. Yeah, dude, lots of people are coming here.
Lots of Californians, right?
Yeah. From everywhere else, and I feel it in the traffic every day. I'll give credit to TxDOT, Texas Department of Transportation. They do they're doing a lot of work, man, and they're making improvements to the roads, which is awesome. But you can't just do construction at nighttime when no one drives. Middle of the day construction.
24/7
interruptions, yeah.
Houston. Houston's like that. Jeez.
Houston's like complete, and it's like I-35. I-35 from the north of the United States all the way down to Mexico. There's always something about it that is under construction. So check this out. I ordered, since I drive, I do have a dash cam. A dash cam is extremely important. I don't care if you're in a busy metro area or not. It's just good to have it. It's just good to have. It's really good to have. So I went and bought this. It's a Red Tiger. It's a 4K camera. I decided to buy one and upgrade my stuff. I've got a 1080p camera, but it's a front only. This Red Tiger here. I'm not endorsing anything, but this is the camera, and it's front. It's got a front camera and a rear camera. And I'm like, okay, I've been a good boy this year, so I put up the money to buy this. So I bought it on Amazon after I had like a short list. There was a list of 10, and then I narrowed it down to like 3. And then of those 3, I'm emailing the company saying, okay, I need more information on this. These guys at Red Tiger got back to me really quickly. They answered my question, and they were awesome. So that's what I bought. So I bought it. It was like 8:30. It was during my first break at work. Bought it on Amazon. It was supposed to be at my door by like 3 o'clock that afternoon. 2:44 p.m. I get a text message. Your package has been delivered. So I'm at work going, hell yes, this is cool. I've got something to do tonight. I'm going to install this camera in my car because I'm going to do it. I've got it legit. I got all the stuff with it. It's a permanent install. It actually connects to my fuse box for power. So it's got 24-hour monitoring. It's a nice camera. So I get home and I'm like, oh yeah, my camera's out front. So I open up my door. There's nothing on my porch. There's nothing in my bushes. There's nothing in my mailbox. There's nothing on my neighbor's porch on either side. There's nothing on my neighbor's porch across the street. I'm like, oh crap. Someone lifted it. So I went and looked at my camera footage. No activity registered at all on at my house for the entire day. So they said that it was delivered, but it wasn't delivered. It was delivered somewhere. It wasn't delivered to my house. So I immediately got online with Amazon. I said, hey, this wasn't delivered. I don't want a refund. Just send another one. This is what I want. I just want it to show up. So last night when I got back from work, this happened so quickly because shipping happens like within hours. I order something on Amazon, it shows up at my door in hours. So last night, no, it wasn't last night. It was this morning. So anyway, 24. They told me to wait 24 hours because maybe it'll show up. It says there's a delivery window of 24 hours. So so they can't give me a refund. They can't issue another product. So I waited exactly 24 hours. I got back online with them and I'm like, hey, it's been 24 hours. What do you want to do? They ended up refunding. They gave me credit for the money that I spent. And then I immediately ordered another camera and it showed up at like 6 o'clock this morning. So I have this camera. This is the camera that showed up at 6 o'clock this morning. I'm I'm happy with it. I opened up the package. It's really, really nice. I read the instruction manual. It seems really pretty simple to install. And then I went about my day. And then my postal lady, as I'm preparing for the show, my doorbell rings and there's a knock on the door. And it was the postal lady, my postal carrier. And she says, hey, this was in your other neighbors, like several houses down. This was in their mailbox. It was overstuffed. I saw that it had your address on it. So here you go. So I have another one. This one showed up later. This one showed up damn early this morning, this top one, and then I got another one. So now I've got two of these freaking dash cams. I've only got one dashboard in my car.
You should send the extra one you got back and get a refund.
No, I'm going to send the other one back. I'm like, hey, it finally showed up because it was delivered to the wrong house.
Oh,
what do you want me to do? No. I'm not a dishonest person. It's not mine. That would be stealing. But what I count on happening, what I think is going to happen, is they're going to say, "Nah, keep it.
Just keep it. Yeah,
keep it," because it probably cost them more to, for me to send it back. But then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with this? I can sell it, or I can give it to my kids, have them do it. And then I'm thinking, are they going to take the time to actually do the right installation? Maybe, maybe not. It's not up to me. But I can't just send one of these to one of my kids. I'm going to have to send them both one. So I'm going to have to end up spending another couple $100 to get another one of these things.
Send one to the worst driver of your two kids.
I think I'm going to take my kids out of the equation and send it to my parents. Here, Mom and Dad, here, have a dash cam.
I tell everyone that if you're driving nowadays and you don't have a dash cam, you're messing up because that's just evidence right there. Boom. If something crazy happens.
Yeah, and it's either gonna, prove the other person guilty, or it's gonna say, "Hey, dude, you were driving like a dickhead."
Mm-hmm.
So it keeps everybody honest. So that's cool. That's I wish it would happen with other stuff that I order.
That'd be cool if that would have happened with my big old PC that I ordered.
You get two.
Be like, hey, I got two sitting here. Oh, okay.
So
what am I gonna? The hell would I do with two PCs?
Use one as a server.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah.
It's a data server with a badass graphics card. Oh, Pip says we got send it to Spanky so she can put it in her minivan. I can do that.
Jackie said, try I-75. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Have you been on I-75 in Florida?
I have. Well, yes, I have.
Ooh,
75, isn't that a? No, I have not.
Oh, look, I-75 going through
Just
Florida
just between like Augusta and St. Whatever, Sebastian Inlet.
Augustine.
So it's all on the East Coast.
Where 10 freaking links up with 75 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but,
long time ago, dude. That was AIT.
Dude, oh no, now 75 going through Florida, man. It's like what's it? Mario Kart. Best way to describe it, man.
It was only a 2-lane interstate the last time I drove it, so it's probably bigger now.
Survival of the fittest. I think I got like a video floating around. Me and my boy were driving from Fort Myers up towards Tampa, and I took my camera has that where it takes a picture every
Oh, so you time lapsed it? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like super slow mode, so it's like when you play it, it's sped up. But you watch this shit, it's like a dance of death. Like people just, and it's nuts. Like I need to find that video. I know it's on the phone, but I was like, I'm gonna record this just because, and it's like people just cutting 3 lanes over right in front of you, and people like slamming on our brakes for no reason. You know,
I'm happy to hear that because that happens here, and I'm like, wow, Texas drivers, they don't. I won't say that they suck. They're just unsafe. They're impatient and they're assholes. That's why my parents won't come and visit me anymore. It's not because they hate me. It's just because they don't like the driving scares the shit out of them here.
This is the me first mentality is the way I like to put it. Like
Very
everyone,
much.
Like me first. Gotta get there. You're like people will cut you off just so they can make it a millisecond sooner.
And Jackie mentions defensive driving, but the thing is, in defensive driving, they tell you to make sure you leave 3 car lengths in front of you. Well, if you leave 3 car lengths in front of you, guess what? Someone's going to cut in front of you. That is a space for 3 cars to be. It is scary as fuck going 80 miles an hour down the interstate, and you are half a car behind the vehicle in front of you, and the guy behind you is a half a car length behind you. It sucks, dude, because if you have to evade something, you can't avoid anything on the road. You're just going to run it over. If there's a pallet in the road, you're just going to run it over because you can't see it. It's stressful. I think driving to and from work is the most stressful part of my day. And I work in experimental flight test, if that tells you anything.
Yes. Like, people are like, oh, I woke up 10 minutes late. Oh, crap. I got to get to work or I'm going to be late and I'm going to get rid up. That's 99%. That's like DC area. Like I was saying, like the 95, the 495, and the 395.
Okay.
The whole corridor and shit. Oh, my God. It's like, oh. I had to take freaking Xanax just to drive for it. Like, you know, I'd stay in the slow lane, just putt along. Everyone's, I'm just doing the speed limit. You know?
I feel really fortunate. I feel really fortunate at work because I don't work in an environment where you got to be there at 6 or you got to be there at 5 and you leave at 3:30 or 4:30 or whatever. Your break times are dictated and stuff. It's your obligation. Your obligation is 40 hours a week.
Make sure you do your 40 hours.
When you get there, you get there. There's not, no one's going to hem you up. It's not union. If you're in the union and you're late, you get docked those hours. You know, if your shift is like 7 to 3:30 and you show up at 10 minutes after 7, you're going to lose 0.2 of an hour on that paycheck because you're unless your supervisor allows you to make up that time at the end of the day. With me, it's just, it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing, 9 hours a day. As long as you put in your time and you get your job done, then there's nothing to complain about. And we have a really good group, so yeah. So what do you think about haunted houses? I know you were down in Texas and you did a tour of was it a sanatorium or it was a mental hospital?
Something along
it was
the lines of that.
ghost chasing. You were chasing ghosts around an old retired mental hospital.
This is what it was. This is where I wish I could just have Jay ready to explain the story because he's so much better at it. It's like everyone's doing their paranormal thing, and me, I'm just the hillbilly out there digging through shit. Like, oh, what's this? Oh, I'm like, put that down. Gonna bring bad spirits. I'm like, but what is this?
Yeah. Oh, so you're like going through personal effects and stuff,
Yeah,
drawers
like,
and whatnot.
Like, don't mess around with the spirits. Don't make them mad. I'm just like looking at everything, you know. Like, I'm an explorer. I like to.
That's hilarious. So check this out. There's a if anybody has seen, I like horror movies. I do enjoy seeing horror movies.
Horror
movies.
Horror.
So one of my favorites. I've got a couple that I really like, but I do like The Conjuring. That's probably one of my favorites, probably top 5. The Conjuring is a supernatural horror story based upon true events. In 1971, Roger and Carolyn Perrone moved into a farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island, with their 5 daughters. Their dog, Sadie, refuses to enter the house or the entrance to the cellar. And the entrance to the cellar had been boarded up. Paranormal events occur within the first few nights. Every clock in the house stopped at 3:07 a.m. Sadie, the dog, is found dead in the morning, and Carolyn wakes up with large bruises on her body. She and Christine both encounter a malevolent spirit, and they contact demonologist couple Ed and Lorraine Warren to investigate the home. So the Conjuring house in Rhode Island is now offering a paranormal camping option for visitors who are brave enough to sleep among the spirits. There was real shit. There was real shit that happened at that house, and bad stuff happened to these other families and subsequent families that lived on this property, and now they're having they call it gamping, like amping, ghost camping.
Oh, I was supposed to say glamping, but
no,
camping. Or...
the Cinematic Landmark has dubbed the experience as gamping, a term that is used to mean ghost and ghost plus camping. Located at 1677 Round Top Road in Burryville, a town in Providence County, Rhode Island, the 14-room farmhouse also served as the film location for the 2013 horror movie called The Conjuring. Would you stay in this haunted house?
I would sleep on the floor with a freaking my whoopee and a fart sack. And not care because I don't believe in that crap.
So Holly says glamping is a thing too. That's where you stay in like a $300 a night yurt in the middle of the forest.
That's what was it Wednesday? Freaking Radar was talking about with his RV and going around. I was like, that's kind of glamping.
Well, yeah, because he says, he goes, man, I did my time in the Army and Marine Corps sleeping on the.
I got to rough it like that, man. It's just like if I'm gonna go out, man, screw it. Sleep in a tent, sleep under a freaking poncho, homemade.
I don't think I'd like to go camping just to live primitively. I wouldn't mind going camping if I was on a hunting trip.
So I'd do hunting, fishing,
or
whatever.
Fishing.
But I just, if I can't carry it on my back,
or if I was road marching, like if I was marching from here to freaking I don't know wherever, Anchorage, Alaska, and I had to camp, that would be cool. Mm-hmm. I did a bike hike when I was a teenager. I did a bike hike from where was it, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, all the way up the northern peninsula to Egg Harbor. And 40, 50 miles, but we as a kid, that's like forever. That's forever away. And I had a shitty bike, and it was a YMCA thing. So I think we took like 2 days to get there, a day to stay, and then 2 days to get back. And we camped. It was
shelter
awesome.
house and fart sacks and cuddle up with your battle buddy. That's the way to do it right there.
So even Holly says, I'm game. I love ghosts. I am a big fan of I'm not saying that I believe them. I'm not saying that I disbelieve in them. I think there's a bunch of weird stuff out there, and I feel safer not fucking with the undead and spirits and stuff like that. I don't think I would do that. I just, I'm safer just going, you do you, I'll do me.
So see, if I was like filthy rich, I'd buy a place like that and just live in it.
And there's probably, I've stayed in houses that are just creepy as fuck. Now that I think about it, as an adult, looking back when I was a kid, I stayed at a friend of mine's parents' house, or his house. He lived with his parents. His name was Brett Dixon, but it was like this old 1800s house, 3 stories, and there was rumors that the 3rd story was haunted and shit. I fucking stayed there. It was like no big deal. The 3rd story is where that whole story was nothing but like playrooms. And we went there. I didn't know any better. As an adult, I'll be like, nah.
I don't get freaked out by weird shit like that, though. Man.
I'm not freaked out by it, but I'd rather not tempt fate.
See, you you respect it. It's kind of like don't whistle in the woods at night, but then I'll go out and whistle.
Whistle the fuck out of it. Hold on a minute. You're not supposed to whistle in the woods?
No, you're not supposed to whistle in the woods at night.
Oh, fuck.
If you hear your name in the woods in the middle of the night, just don't even. You didn't hear your name.
You don't respond to it.
Yeah,
I don't respond to it when everyone says, if I'm walking through the hangar, someone goes, Kaz. I don't turn around.
No,
because that always turns
military.
Yeah.
But what's the other one? Old Appalachian lore and stuff like that. It's like you never enter the house from another door that you exited the house. So if you go out through your front door, you gotta if you're going to re-enter, you gotta go in through the front door, not like a side door or something like that.
So you have to go back in the way that you went out.
Yeah, you go in the way you went out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just the way it works. You go out the side door, go back in the side door.
Well,
it's a weird thing.
That sucks again because whenever I do my yard work, I exit the back of the house and then I re-enter the front of the house.
My great grandmother had me freaked out about that as a kid. So now I get weirded out when I do have to I go out the back door, I'm doing something, and then I go into the front door. I'm like, oh, I messed up.
So then you have to do the math and then undo it in such a way where
go out, go through, go out. Oh, okay, I got it. I fixed it.
I fixed it. We're good. Because hopefully you have at least 3 doors. Then you can fix it. All right. Oh, so where's this? Oh, Employee of the Year. Check this out. I wonder if this could happen in the United States. Never put a hat on a bed. That's an interesting one. Like a ball cap or a cowboy hat, hanging on the bedpost. Is that what you mean, Heather?
I never heard that one because I like to sleep with a nightcap on.
Okay.
It's this weird thing, a beanie or whatever. It could be 1,000 degrees outside. I'll sleep with a beanie on my head at night. It just makes me feel comfortable. Yes, I don't know.
Okay, so check this out. We got an employee of the Year award. Oh, any hat on a bed.
Never heard that.
I'll have to look that up. So check this out. We got the IBM Employee of the Year over in the UK in the UK. A man has spent 15 years on sick leave. 15 years on sick leave before taking his employer to court because he hasn't received a pay raise. He's finally spoken publicly about his ordeal, and he says that I'm not greedy. Ian Clifford, a senior IT technician with the tech firm IBM, has been on sick leave since 2008. An employment tribunal in the UK heard that the 50-year-old was originally signed off of work for mental health reasons. Now he is terminally ill and has been diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia, and that happened in 2012. In 2013, he complained to IBM that he has not received a pay raise in 5 years, and he reached a compromise agreement with the company in which he would be put on the company's disability plan, and he would earn an annual salary of roughly 54,000 pounds per year, or $66,500 a year, until the age of 65, with a quote, no obligation to work, end quote. But now Clifford has taken IBM to court, arguing that the rocketing levels of inflation have seen his salary wither over the decade. He says people may think, yes, this is generous, but those amounts are gross and they're not and not taxed. He says, I do pay the national insurance tax on these amounts. He says, your mortgage doesn't go down because you're sick. I had to use all of my savings to bring this case and more. I had to borrow money from my credit card. This has left me financially very vulnerable. Now, me personally, I will never disparage anyone for taking time off of work due to illness. Mm-hmm. But I think it's weird that I think it's odd that he's paid not to work. I mean, why not work from home? You can, I mean, especially now in the year of COVID, at least for the last 3 years, you can do just about anything from home.
Yeah, the thing that blows my mind is, like, why are these corporations so up in arms about people working from home? They want them, like, especially after, like, the COVID thing. People started working at home, and then now they want them back in their cubicles. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like, businesses could save so much on just real estate by just allowing their employees. You've got Zoom, you've got Skype, you've got everything at your disposal where you can do everything you need to without having to have physical space at that point.
There is a brand on the way to work. I pass. It's a brand new office. It's a brand new office building, and there was, for a period of time, there was an insurance. It's like Providence Insurance or something, and there were some doctor offices, like on the first floor, and then it was like an insurance company on the floors above that. COVID happened, and that whole building vacated. There's nobody. There's like a security guard that does patrols and stuff in the morning, and that's it. There's never a car in the parking lot. Everyone is remote. I think there is a place for remote work. For people who do things like I do, it's all hands-on. You got to be there.
Yes.
But if you're an accountant, or if you don't need
filling out TPS reports.
Yeah, if you're filling out TPS reports, you don't need to be sitting in a freaking cubicle getting the life sucked out of you. So
wake up,
I think
roll over to your computer, do your thing.
I mean, companies pay. I mean, and we're losing a lot of our software engineers to firms that will pay the employees a very, very good salary to do their work at home. They do the same amount of work. Working from home is difficult when you have kids and dogs and whatever, but it can be done. I mean, if you're disciplined enough. I mean, and these folks are smart, so they can get a regimen going where they can work from home and be productive and contribute and everything. But all of this, I really think that there's merit for actually being in the workplace at your place of business.
There's times and places for it. I mean, if you need to have like a company meetup, kind of meet, greet, whatever,
Or at least, work from home, but once or twice a week, come to the office. At least once. At least once. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. But I mean, some of these jobs, like, I'm really like you travel through crazy city traffic, dodge death on a day-to-day basis.
I'm telling you, it's like I said, that's the most stressful part of my day is driving to and from work.
So you eliminate that stress of me having to get up and commute, and now I can just wake up, have a coffee, smoke a cigarette, and make my face, and put my suit tie on and be in my pajamas or whatever it is while I'm having my meetings and stuff like that. Look
Or
professional.
you
but
can
I'm-
sit in your damn bedroom and punch out code all day long. If if you're a software thing, or work on spreadsheets and accounting and bullshit like that. You don't even have
The
to
real
put on.
estate
You
factor.
don't even have to. You don't even have to put on pants.
That's what Patrick said. The real estate factor is a lot of these companies do have a lot of investments in this real estate. So they spent millions of dollars.
How are you going to
on
sell
these
off?
buildings.
How are you going to sell off an office building when everyone's working from home? What's the use of an office building if no one goes there?
I mean, think about it too. Is you wouldn't need to pay so much. Like the employer wouldn't have to pay as much as insurance for like liability shit. No?
Yeah.
Shit happening at the job place. If I get up to take my break and I slip in my bathroom, that's that's me at that point. It's not them. That's me at that point.
Yeah, and these companies don't have to pay for their housekeeping and electric bills and everything else. I mean, all they would have to do is like maintain a server farm or whatever for someone to remote into.
And a data center. There you go. Boom. That's it. No. That's the hands-on job part of it,
Yeah.
The network engineers actually have to show up to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra stress for the IT crew.
I can see that. Well, I mean, most of the trouble tickets come down are just self-resolving trouble tickets. Be like, have you restarted your computer yet? No, that's the end of it.
Have you turned it off and turned it back on again?
Is
No,
it
I
plugged
haven't.
up? Have you checked to see if it's connected?
Wait,
hold on, give me a second. Oh, never mind. All right, have a nice day. Click.
Or you find one of those. I can't map to the printer. Can you help me map to the printer, please? We got a network printer I can't get to. Okay,
Final
here
score,
you go.
Myrtle Beach beats Fayetteville. Bam, boom.
There you go. 5-1. That's a good game right there.
I need to start going out to the Pelican games. They're like right down the road from me, and I hear it's like awesome. But
Nothing beats a ballpark hot dog, man. Maybe some peanuts and some cotton candy, man.
they put the national the Nats stadium. What's that? Is it Capo One? I can't remember the name of it now off the top of my head. But they put the Ben's Chili Bowl in there. I don't know if you've ever had Ben's Chili Bowl.
No.
DC chili dogs from DC.
I have not.
I think like every president on the face of the planet probably ate there.
That's cool.
You go up there, especially while the tourists will line the hell up for it, and there's a certain time you go in there to be able to get them, but you grab your probably, I won't say the best chili dogs on the planet, but they're up there, like maybe top 5, maybe top 10.
What makes it good?
It's just they're the, what do they call them? The full stack. What was it? Was it the full smoked sausage? It's hot dog links. They're like the big boys.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and they have their own secret chili sauce recipe that's just like, it's good. Like Ben's Chili Bowl is legit. To me, my favorite hot dogs come from a place that no one's ever heard of, and it's Altoona, Pennsylvania. And there's this place called Texas Hot Dogs, and they have this recipe that's been going on since like 1912, I think.
It's been working.
And boom, you go up there. It's right off 99, Interstate 99. You can go hit it up. And that's not the original store. The original store is the actual town of Altoona, but
Okay, Heath just put out Skyline chili. I don't like Skyline chili. It's like regular chili, meat based, no beans, but it's got like this cinnamon hint to it. It's odd. It's off putting.
that's like the Midwest, like Ohio thing, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a Cincinnati thing.
Yeah. I think Ohio.
It's not.
never
It's
mind.
not horrible. It's not horrible. I'll eat it. It's just different, and I don't like that differentness.
I don't want to speak ill of Ohio.
Well, because Mom might pop in and start eating people's asses or whatever. So check this out. There's a lot of AI. We talk a lot about AI and AI music and AI animations and stuff. Have you seen the Rock eating rocks, which is an AI generated It's an AI generated video, and it's just creepy.
The Pizza Hut or made up Pizza Hut video.
Pizza Hut one or the outdoor barbecue, and I think I showed that video the last time we had a show.
Yes.
It's
like,
just
dudes,
weird.
Like their fingers are trying to eat, but then their fingers turn from regular fingers to like 20 fingers.
Trying to shove that in your face and stuff. But Ice Cube has tuned in, and he was asked. He was actually on a podcast. So apparently Ice Cube is not a fan of AI, at least when it comes to making music. Speaking in a recent interview on the Full Send podcast, Ice Cube reflected on the rise of AI music covers in recent months, which sees artists' voices covering other popular tracks. And he's obviously not a fan of the growing trend. Ice Cube said, quote, "I don't want to hear an AI Drake song. I don't want to hear that bullshit. He should sue whoever made it," end quote. Cube was asked what he would do if someone had produced an AI track using his voice, and Ice Cube did not hold back. He said, quote, "I'ma sue that motherfucker who made it and the people and the platform who play it."
Bet.
So I'm guessing that Ice Cube is not a fan at all of AI.
Him just saying that now just made me just want to go fuck around and find out.
Exactly, because you can go to ChatGPT and just say, "Hey, can you make in the style of Ice Cube, make a rap song?"
And then I can have like Adobe has their audio. I don't know if you've seen Photoshop, how it's working now, where it's got generative, like you take a picture with your actual camera.
Yeah.
And it's like generate, like I want to add a little height to this, but then you say generate. So you make an open space, you say generate, and it creates an open space, that extra open space, and it widens these images and stuff like that. And it looks like the real photo at that point.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yes, it's getting the AI is like we're in the age of AI now. That like this is like the internet first like becoming, this is AOL, right? Right? the young kids are figuring out how to do AOL chat, and we're sitting here just talking about it like, oh, look at this cool shit.
Yeah. See now there might be some reason for me to get that membership to the Creative Cloud so I can do some stuff, because I think that sounds like a lot of fun to play with.
The Adobe, like it's got that it's auto generate. There's a bunch of weird AI things now with Adobe. I was thinking about like picking me up a membership myself. I don't know, it's like $20 a month, $13. Like, I don't know.
So it's pretty expensive. There's different. I don't know if there's different tiers, but there's different. There may be like a veterans rate. There might be. I know for a fact that there's a student rate. I mean,
what is a student rate?
Well,
students
enroll at the local community college. Use your community college email, and then you can get the student rate, and then you quit college.
There you go.
Or stay there. I don't know.
I mean, I had to chat I always mess it up. GPT, whatever. But I had it write me a script for a kaiju movie. And on a B movie level, this would beat out like Sharknado.
Okay.
So I was like, I held it off to the side. I was like, hold on to it a couple of years, then I'll come out with it. I wrote it.
Or you edit it in certain places.
Yeah, I was gonna sit there, but it gave me the idea for an awesome script, and I'm like, this is great. There's a one-liner in there that it has to go into. But yeah, I got a crazy kaiju movie just sitting in my back pocket because I love playing around with that thing. Google's got something now. Google Email's got something now. It's got like a
chat. It's called. I think it's called Chat AI.
Yeah, but like if you're writing an email and you're like just curious, like you can't think of the way the word the email, you say, "Can you write this email on this?" And boom, and you can change it, shorten it, formality. There's like it's getting crazy now.
Yeah, we had a listener. What the hell was their screen name? It was like a cyber awareness something or other, and we would be talking about something. It doesn't matter what the subject is, and then all of a sudden there's this like a 3 or 4 paragraph chat entrance into the chat here, And it was,
Oh, that was Monday. That was Monday edition. I don't know, digital whatever his name was in there, and I was like, "Is this ChatGPT in the house?" But this guy was taking our subject or whatever.
And there were really, I mean, there were well thought out comments, but I don't think a person did that. I think that was generated.
No, it was so long winded. It was like, all right, man, the library. You're like, no one's gonna read your freaking library in here.
Too long didn't read.
Yeah,
TLDR all over it. So
the first couple of times he posted it, I was like, "Is this dude serious?" And I was like, "Wait, nah, you gotta be."
Yeah, I'm right along with you.
The first one I was like, "Man, you felt a certain kind of way." The second one was like, the third one was like, "Oh, you fucking around with some AI, man."
It's gotta be. So you think Metallica would have an issue with a like an AI generated Metallica song?
They had an issue with the Napster and back in the day.
Yeah, so I think that they'd probably
yeah.
You think they'd have an issue with that Chancellor over in the UK marching out to the Metallica song? Is there going to be
do soon?
I don't know. So check this out. This is an interesting story.
Do you have the video?
I do have the video.
All right.
Okay, so I am going to play this video. I just want to let you know that the video starts out very low volume and then it builds up. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading and then I'll play the video. Normally, when a new politician assumes their position, there is a lot of pomp and formalities, especially in the UK. I tried to watch the coronation ceremony with King Charles, and I just couldn't. All the robes, all the swords, the weird bottle of Drambuie that he held. Oh, that wasn't that was a Fabergé egg. Sorry. Cool.
Oh, the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Yeah. It was the holy hand grenade of Antioch. So it was crazy. So the new Lord Mayor Chancellor Tom Coles walked into Portsmouth's Guildhall on Tuesday to the song "Eye of the Beholder" by the American metal band Metallica. So check this out. I'm going to talk a little bit over this. Metallica's really, really, really bad with the copyright infringement stuff, but I am not playing the song. I am reporting an event. So hopefully it doesn't get struck down as a copyright infringement issue. So here's the new chancellor walking down in the hall, and he's playing "Eye of the Beholder" by Metallica, which is a badass song. If you haven't heard it, I highly recommend it. It's just really awesome.
If you like metal, then do it.
Yeah, it's off of the "And Justice for All."
Justice for All.
So he later went on to give his speech that included a quote in the Star Wars language of Klingon.
Not Star Wars. Star Trek.
So he's Star Trek Klingon.
You're gonna have ice in here on freaking tables.
I did that on purpose. He told the media that he decided to go with what he liked. He says, quote, "It went down well with the audience. I really had received some good feedback." Mr. Coles also said that he's a big heavy metal fan, and talking about the song that he chose, he added, "It's a good song to walk into. It's got a little build-up, and then it's got a good beat. It's a great song." I think this is a man of the people right there. This guy is a... Hopefully he's got a good head on his shoulders, but he's not all wrapped up in the...
Salt of the earth kind of guy, you know?
Yeah, he's not wrapped up in all the formalities. If you look at European politics is all the stupid white hair things, and I get it. It's a historical thing, but
tradition, yeah.
Little powdered wigs and whatever. So yeah, I'm down. I'm down with this guy. I think that's badass. I think his hat's fucking silly, but
Hey, those parrot feathers were stolen from an indigenous tribe out in
Those
Africa.
were stolen from Africa. Someone's going to complain. Someone's going to complain about something.
Well, I mean, that's life at that point.
Yeah.
It's been going on since the 70s.
Patrick Lowe says, "Let's be real. If it's a politician, the song should be Master of Puppets. It might be a more accurate song."
Now coming on stage.
That's like a walkout song for like an MMA fight or like a WWE thing.
Command Show Mountain Dew.
Or the pitcher coming out of the bullpen to the mound is so and so forth.
Oh, the Japanese got that shit down to a freaking oh man.
Do they have good walkout sounds?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like they've got like a whole entourages doing kind of it's like an MMA some of the MMA fighters they're walking out and there's like sparkles and fireworks and kind of like the Japanese pitchers take it to a whole new level with that crap, huh?
I mean, if that pumps them up, and if that pumps them up, and if it keeps the audience engaged, do it.
Oh, Japanese baseball is like some of the coolest baseball on the planet, in my opinion. But
there's a lot of fucking talent in Japan.
Oh yeah. Sending the clones.
So did you hear about that cyber attack we had here in Dallas?
I didn't hear anything about a cyber attack. So.
Yeah, it happened. It happened a couple of weeks ago. So I got an update on that. So about 3 weeks ago, let me get to the right slide here. About 3 weeks ago, there was a cyber attack in the city of Dallas. Many entities within the Dallas city government were affected: sewer, water, gas, 911, including police and fire. Even the criminal and civil courts were affected. Schools were affected. The criminal organization that infiltrated servers from the city of Dallas is threatening to leak names, social security numbers, and credit card information if the city does not pay a ransom. Experts say that it's hard to know if the group, known as Royal, is bluffing or if they really did manage, or if they did actually manage to steal data. Quote, sometimes the data and the logs can be so badly scrambled it's simply not possible to work out what was taken, if anything. Forensic investigators said that it'll take months to determine what data was taken. The city still isn't sure if any data was taken at all. They say, quote, we continue to monitor the situation and maintain that there is no evidence or indication that data had been compromised. Royal mocked that statement by saying, quote, we are going to indicate that the data will soon be leaked. We will share here on our blog tons of personal information of employees' phone numbers, addresses, credit card numbers, social security numbers, passports, and thousands of other government documents. So I guess it's like a tit for tat. Because I know with ransomware, they'll like lock your computer out and they said, okay, you've got 24 hours to comply with the ransom demand, or all of this shit will be deleted,
or
released.
Or they'll be like, hey, we have this data. They'll show it to you, and be like, we have this data. We will release it to the public if you don't pay us so much. And they can verify that kind of crap.
Right.
I think it was MSI, or was it Intel? One of them just had a real big one where they were just like, fuck it, we ain't paying to. And all these bootstrap fucking keys got leaked out into the internet because of that crap. So like you got to be careful. Like if you got like an MSI motherboard or anything like that.
And I do, but I don't know what to do with it.
You gotta be very careful when you do any flashing or anything like
that. But I don't. But if I need an update to the motherboard, I need to get it directly from MSI.
From them, yes. But the thing is, it's tricky. You gotta research it a little bit. But yeah, the things happen a lot. That's what happened with that. Excuse me. That pipeline here in the States. What was it? 2000, early 2000.
Oh, down in the southern U.S. with the oil pipelines.
Yeah, they locked it up, and it caused there's no gas in my area for wow, people were freaking out. I guess they paid it. It was that Russian group, but I mean,
yeah, I remember talking about that on the show.
Dave, AI. You say AI will kill a bunch of jobs, but just think of it like this. This is the way I like to look at it. Is we discovered a new tool, a new screwdriver, per se. we're still trying to learn how to use a screwdriver. Once people start to learn to use a screwdriver, then it probably might create a shit ton of jobs because it's a new tool and we don't know how to use it. And once we figure out how to manipulate that new tool, there'll probably be a shit ton of jobs that evolve out of it. Huh? It's like discovering fire for the first time at that point.
Yeah, I don't know that it will kill a bunch of jobs. I think it will change a bunch of jobs. I mean, learn how to use that AI to do your job.
It'll make you, like I said,
it is kind of scary though. It is kind of scary when I can go to Chat GPT and just like you create this for me, and they create that for me, or write code that will do this.
I can't code myself because I really don't understand the concept of the coding, but I can read code and kind of tell what it does. So I went to say, hey, do this. I need this stat, and boom, it put it out. And I was like, holy shit.
How long did it take to render?
Like less than 15 seconds.
Oh shit.
And I was like, holy shit, that's legit. It needs there's a couple errors. I could see the errors in it and just like send it off to my buddy and he could fix it real quick and be like, so instead of, a coder taking 4 hours to do something, now he can do it in 3 minutes. And, you get what I'm saying.
The thing is, it'll make a coder a little bit more efficient, and then you work out the bugs. I don't know. I think the jury's still out as far as AI. I think AI's got a lot of...
freaking out. People are freaking about it. I don't want the government to start regulating it without knowing it, because you know how our government is, knee-jerk shit.
Well, they're trying to regulate cryptocurrency, and they don't know shit about shit. Don't understand.
I think it's a tool. I think it's like Promethean fire is the best way to explain it. We don't quite understand it, but it's a gift from whatever. And until we figure out how to use it, I mean, there's a lot of applications that could be used into, and it's just like people are just unnecessary. I can see, we watched a lot of Terminator and Skynet shit, and yes, that is a very keen possibility that this thing will be like, hey, these things suck. I could do my own thing and just wipe us out. But that's, I think, Elon Musk and all of them are freaked out. But I mean, to me right now, it's a pencil that I could just say, hey, do this, and it does the math for me. And I don't have to take the time to do the math. I know the math is correct, and I can continue on doing it.
The last time we had this conversation, I was talking about an app that we use at work. If you're trying to do something and you need an equation, you can't quite remember it. It was called Wolfram Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be like, I need to, calculate the volume of a cylinder, and this is the material. And you give it the information, and then all of a sudden it gives you the equations. You still have to work through the equations.
This doesn't make a math, but it helps you out. No?
It does. It does. It's like a step ahead. It gives you, puts you a step ahead rather than going, fuck, I got to get off the work site, go to my laptop, look all this shit up, figure it out, and then come back. So
it is going to, it is going to change the internet with a lot of these, was it fixit.com or whatever. You go on there and there's ads everywhere, and I can just be like, hey, how do I tune a carburetor? And this thing goes boop, gives me information.
You get a response that's like, what the fuck is a carburetor?
Like you go expect, well, what the fuck is a carburetor? Yeah. But
fuel injection
or recipe kind of thing. Like, say, how do I cook chicken, whatever, Parmesan, and then you look it up online. You have to click through 1,000 websites.
Who the hell was it?
Who at the bottom?
Was it Carl? Carl said he went to Chat GPT and said, here are the ingredients. I need to have healthy recipes using these ingredients. And he's like a whole week of meals.
And it'll figure it out. Here's my macros. This is what I need to do. And
it's a useful tool. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think it's a really useful tool.
It's like, okay, I could have spent 12 hours figuring this shit out, but instead I asked the system, and it's like Star Trek. Computer, calculate the blah 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 blah. All right, calculations. Put it into the engine. Do it. No human brain can figure shit out that quick. But anyways,
that would help out snipers on the battlefield.
Oh, and the AI scope.
An AI scope.
The mill.
Yeah. You don't have to adjust shit. Point put your crosshairs on the target and pull the trigger.
Just imagine drones with that shit in them.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming. It's not
that's
coming.
The scary part.
It's not coming now.
When-
It's might
when
5-10 years.
When they start weaponizing it, that's when you all got to be scared. But right now, this is infancy. Enjoy
Like
it. Do
drone
crazy shit.
drone v drone warfare. That's nuts. So-
I am old enough to know what a carburetor is. Like, it's really. Do people not understand what a carburetor is?
Well, I mean, let me see.
Even small engines, like some of the two-strokes.
My fucking lawnmower had a carburetor in it.
Yes, you pull it off, break it down, fix it, adjust the jet. You bend that little freaking pin in there a little bit to get it so it floats a little bit better during the winter or whatever. All kinds of crazy crap you can do. Tune it with it. Screwdrivers. Listen to it with your ear. Or a little rich. Smell it.
You can smell it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the right way to do it. Holly says, "Why not have the robot pull the trigger?" That's what it's going to.
See, that freaks me the fuck out.
To give a non-sentient.
That right there should be the red line. Is that an AI should not be able to pull the trigger. It has to be a human that pushes the button at that point.
Yep.
That's my red line.
It's just like a drone.
It's doing its thing, but
it'll target the shit out of everything, and then it's just up to you to analyze the intelligence and make a decision whether to.
I mean, we already have got the Sea-Wiz kind of does that too. There's got to be a human behind that. It's tracking, but there's got to be like unless it's like the early warning crap, and this shit just. But
what was that? The 2001: Space Odyssey. It's just
how open the
how?
pod bay doors. I don't think it can do that. How? Open the pod bay door. Hey, if you've got an iPhone, you can ask that. Like, hey, open the pod bay door. Yes, and it'll give you a crazy response.
I don't think I can do that, David. How is that any different than a human that pulls the trigger that is delayed by a kernel, too concerned about the next OER? Okay.
No, that's true, but there's still the human. Okay, when computers are killing people, we've got issues.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do.
That's the red line. Like that hesitation in there needs to be like, oh, okay, well, my future promotion, this blah blah blah. That's the human aspect of it. When that freaking computer can go calculate percentage, collateral damage, and it does it instantly and just goes, okay, screw it, pow, and then you got Skynet. That's where the Skynet comes.
I don't think we're there yet. I think it's coming. I think within 10 years. So this is 2023. I think within 2030, by 2030, we're going to have this capability to be executed.
Well, I mean, there was leak.
But as a responsible nation, I think the United States is a responsible nation compared to others. I think that we would be probably very late in the uptake. I think that China and Russia is going to be like, no, develop this technology as much as we can and let the computers take charge of everything. And I think the United States would be like, no, moral high ground, we're not going to do this. But maybe on the sly, on the down low, they'll be developing the fuck out of it, but it won't be implemented.
I was about to say to anyone who's tech savvy, there is open source language models, basic AIs floating around right now that if, there's this thing called Internet in a Box. Get one of those on there and throw it in a Faraday cage just in case you need to have an AI that can help fight the robots down the road with you.
Robot versus robot.
Because that's not exactly what would happen. It'll just turn into different AIs fighting each other. And
we'll be underground. We'll be like 300 feet underground going, fuck, are they done yet?
Like, what the fuck did we just... But again, the nuclear bomb. This AI scare is kind of like the nuke scare. Like hide under your desk. If you see the flash, hide a ditch somewhere.
Well, if you see the flash, it's too late, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have a Civil Defense Corps crap sitting in this desk here about like how to survive a nuclear blast. I'm like, oh crap, man.
And you probably got all the FMs and stuff right next to your MRE.
Well, no, these are all like literal civil, like what's it, CDs, not the CDC, CCC, civil, not the CCC. What the heck is it? I'm trying. Civil Defense Corps is what it is. But old pamphlets that were issued out in like the 40s and 50s. I've got an old desk outside around this door here, my great grandmother's desk, and she staved all that shit. It's gonna still have all that weird pamphlets.
Might come in handy.
There'll be a lot of doppelgangers.
Hey, what do you say we get out of here, man?
Yeah, it's about the time.
Let everybody go. We're gonna break formation here. Cut everybody loose. Have a great freaking weekend. My name is Kaz. This is Pookie. Go out there and enjoy this long weekend. And it's not just a long weekend. Keep in mind, this is Memorial Day. It's for our fallen brothers and sisters. Pookie, you got any super awesome parting words?
Like I always say, don't drink and drive. Don't beat your spouse. Don't kick your dog. And have a wonderful weekend. Taxation's theft. And don't fly American Airlines if you can.
So we have 6 nights a week, a show 6 nights a week. Sunday is a sports bar. Monday is the Monday edition. Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior. Wednesday is the Smoke Pit. Sergeant's Time comes back at us on Thursdays, and next Friday we are not going to have a show. We're going to be off next Friday, and then we'll be back the following Friday. This Sunday there's not going to be a sports bar show. We are going to be. I think that we're going to be simulcasting the Memorial Day concert, which is headed up by Joe Montana and Lieutenant Dan. I say Lieutenant Dan. Gary Sinise. Gary Sinise. So,
damn.
So our next show will be not really a show, but it'll be like a presence. We will have a presence on the internet. So watch your alerts. Please like, share, and follow. And if you miss a show, you can always go to YouTube to rewatch one, or Facebook. You can look down in our history, our video history, and rewatch a show if you need to. Anyway, my name is Kaz, and up there is Pookie, and we are going to get out of here, man. Have a great weekend.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Let's see it.